Hey!
Hey!
Good
Need to do my
spin,
spin again.
Percy. Nice.
Percy
Ooh,
win.
look at that.
Percy wins every week.
Percy, every week.
You can't beat that. You can't beat
Yeah,
that
it's
at all.
Simpsons, you see. I'm Homer.
You are
That was-
entrance of the week every week, man.
Yes.
Every
Need to do
week.
that.
Gotta think of ways how to outdo you. Well, guys, it's a Saturday. How's everyone doing today? How are you, Ange?
Good. Yes, I feel like I always answer with two adjectives: busy and stressed. So I'm not busy, but I am still a bit stressed because I've got the aircon. I'm staying at as you can see, the background's different because I'm staying at my sister's place for the next 2 weeks, and the aircon started leaking this morning. So the aircon guy I said, look, I've got a Facebook Live, happening at 5, and he said he'd come at 4, and he's not here, so he's going to ring the doorbell any minute. So. Hey,
you know what?
When you're live,
we're live. Just a reminder that Ange is the executive producer extraordinaire. So last week she was doing her laundry at the same time as a live show, and very soon we can be expecting aircon repair guys. So yeah, as you know, we are absolutely professional.
He's funny. Mr. Pang, he's a funny guy. He'll probably be better than any of us three. I'll get him on.
Give the guy a mic.
Yeah, Pers, what about you? I mean, any aircon repairman coming over? No,
I'm good. I'm a bit blue because you guys are both pink. Okay, I didn't get the memo today.
Oh, yeah. Ange always leaves you out. We have a private group chat. That
I
takes you out
see
of
that.
there.
Yeah.
I see that now.
You didn't get the memo.
Didn't get the memo there. But I'm good. I'm good. How is everything there?
Excellent. Things here are good. We're opening up a bit more now. We can go out to dine in pairs starting on Monday. But I just want to apologize in advance if you hear anything loud noises. It's just lightning because there's a thunderstorm happening out there. So just be careful. It's not an aircon repairman, I swear.
And it's not because you didn't go to the toilet before the show.
Yeah. Or it could be a bit of a rumbling.
Bit of a rumble.
Yeah, a bit of a rumble.
Too much information. Too much information. We're going
Too much information. and like always, welcome to the show. And have you ever wondered how you like to be remembered in the future? And what legacy are you leaving behind for others?
Are you living your life today the way you want to be remembered in the future? Welcome to Dear Future Grandkids. This is a show that asks an interesting guest the big questions about life, legacy, and the corner of their home that they're most embarrassed about.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ange in Hong Kong. We have Jien there in Singapore, and that's Percy in the Philippines. And we are coming at you live, which is still a terrifying thought even after 13 episodes.
Yeah, this is episode 6. Season 2, so episode 14. I think. Have I got it right? Yeah, I think so.
Good maths. Good maths.
Yeah, I know.
Math.
Well educated. My accounting career has been fantastic. But as you know, we've gone live, and the person that's responsible for all this is Percy over there, who says, you know what, we're not going to pre-record this. We're going to go live, and Ange has not recovered since then. And thanks to you. See,
I like
repairman.
There you go.
Blame this dude.
Terrible dude. But more importantly, we've been doing this for this is week 14. It's been excellent, and we're always so excited and so happy to get amazing people on the show. So today we are building a video time capsule for a mega talented singer, songwriter, music producer, someone who recently featured on BBC Music's Introducing series as an up-and-coming artist to look out for. She's only 22 years old. She's originally from Hong Kong, and she now produces all of her own music in her bedroom somewhere in South London. So please welcome to the show, Bibi Sway.
Hey. Bibi Sway.
Good morning.
I just want to apologize. Yeah, because it's 5 p.m. here in Hong Kong, Manila, and in Singapore, and of course. It's 9:30 or 10 o'clock in London now. We like to apologize because we told Bibi to get ready at 8:30 a.m. So apologies. Sorry.
We messed up the time.
That is A-okay. Honestly, I needed the extra time to wake up.
Yay.
Nice.
Are you this morning, Bibi?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks. I'm just sipping on my coffee and, making my way through the morning. It's nice to see you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, nice to see
Aw.
you.
So, thank
Me
you for saying
too.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for spending your Saturday morning with us. No better way to start the weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
I can
That's
think
what
of
we.
better ways.
That's what we tell. That's what we tell ourselves. But yeah.
We tell that to ourselves, but then again, we don't have many options. The three of us. But you, I'm sure you have more.
No, I mean, if I wasn't doing this, I would literally just be lounging around. So definitely
And-
the best way I could have spent my morning.
Ah, there you go.
Aw.
So, Bibi, welcome to Dear Future Grandkids. You're only 22 years old. I guess you never thought of yourself as a future grandmother.
I don't know, actually. I kind of have, to be honest.
Oh.
Well, maybe not grandmother.
Really?
I've thought of myself
Okay.
as a mom.
Mhm.
I haven't
Aw.
really gotten so far as thinking about my children having children. So maybe I haven't thought about that as much. I thought about it when I was asked to come on here.
You did.
Aw.
Did you ever visualize what you would look like?
I don't know. I want to be badass. I want to be a silver fox.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I want to
Aw.
look like. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Yeah.
it's
Well,
hard to look like.
your wish is our command. So yeah.
God, I look way more white when you do that.
But you look really cool.
I do look pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
What?
Oh.
That's not aging at all.
Yeah.
You're one
Yeah,
stunning
this app
grandma.
is not working on you. This app
Yeah,
is not
no.
working.
No.
Okay,
It's-
you're just
it's-
gonna stay young.
Yeah, it's like you've gone from 22 to 25. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I think I'm lucky to have my mum's genes, and hopefully they will prevail throughout my old age, and I will
Those
keep
Asian-
looking young. Those
Those
Asian, genes.
Asian don't
A-
raisin.
Asian don't raisin.
Asian don't raisin. Oh my god, I love that.
I like that.
I'm gonna use that forever.
Asian don't raisin. Well, because you're half Chinese, maybe half raisin. Like that half.
What is a half a raisin? Sultana?
Very good.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
maybe.
half what's yeah.
I love it that we're all visualizing what Ange is saying. Like,
I mean, maybe like a prune. I feel like prunes are still pretty juicy. Not quite as dry
Oh.
as a raisin.
mhm.
True.
I don't know.
That's a good analogy. But it doesn't rhyme with Asian, so Asian don't prune. Doesn't work.
Asian don't prune.
No. Not a nice ring to it. Hey, Bibi, you know what? Since we're on the topics of you being half a raisin, let's now get to know you a little bit better with some quick fire questions. You ready for that?
Let's do it.
Okay. Where were you born?
Hong Kong.
Okay. Name an important childhood memory, like one that really sticks out.
One that really sticks out.
Yeah.
Going to Seattle on the summer holidays as a kid. My dad is from Seattle. We have family property there by the bay, and we stay in this like little cabin-y house. And we used to go there some summers, and then I'd get to see all my American cousins that I didn't really see very often, and we, do campfire things, and sometimes it'd be just like American films, and it was very wholesome. So that's
Nice.
an important childhood memory for me.
Very nice. Lovely, lovely memory. Where does the name Bibi Sui come from?
So there's not much of a like backstory to it.
Okay.
It's mainly because, well, I call my friends Bibi because like Chinese people, you're like, why Bibi, Dima Bibi, all this kind of stuff, and also it's just instead of being like, hey babe or hey baby, it's like Bibi is cute, it's short, it's
Bibi.
sweet, it's non-committal.
Yeah.
So I call my friends BB, and it came at a time when I was like releasing my cozy EP, which was like sort of lo-fi, dancey vibes, but it's kind of very chill, and it makes you want to like sway.
Sway.
So I was like, sway
Hey.
BB. Bibi Sway.
Got it. Hey,
Ah.
Bibi Sway. Bibi
That's
Sway.
Nice.
And thus
Well,
Bibi
I
Sway
like
was
it.
born.
Yeah, it's catchy. I
Nice.
like it a lot.
This catchy.
It is.
Bibi.
In 3 words, how would you describe yourself?
Well, I probably should have thought of 3 words before I came on here. 3 words I would describe myself. Bossy. Actually, no. I don't really like bossy as an adjective. I think I just know what I want a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like bossy is a word that probably society uses for women who know what they want, you know?
Yeah,
so,
it's
you know what? Immediately taken back. Not bossy.
Not bossy.
How would I say I know what I want in a word? Oh, sometimes I don't know what I want. Anyway.
Assured?
Should. Decisive. Assured.
But decisive, I wouldn't actually use decisive. Okay.
Raisin.
I'm short. I'm half raisin, and well-intentioned.
Well-intentioned.
Oh,
That's nice.
That's good.
yeah, that was about 6 words, but let's not worry about it.
You've got the dad. It's like half raisin.
You need to get the gist of it.
Those are like hyphenated words, aren't they? So it's
Yeah.
kind of
Yes. Oh, I see what you
becomes
did.
one word.
Oh.
So in
she
3
did
words,
again.
in
Another
3
3
words,
words.
how do you think others would describe you?
How do I think others would?
Or
describe
how do
me?
others actually describe you?
Well, I asked my flatmate if the other day, for some reason, it came up. I was like, "Am I fun to be around?" She's like, "Yeah, you know, you're really talkative." So I guess talkative is one. I think people would say I'm quite like empathetic or understanding. I've heard some people say that I'm quite easy to sort of talk to. So I'm going to put that under the umbrella of empathetic, understanding. And I want to say fun. I don't know. I would like for other people to think I'm fun, but I can also be the person to be like, yeah, we should not do this because it's dangerous. So fun but responsible.
Oh, okay.
Fun with a seatbelt on.
Fun with a seatbelt on.
Exactly.
Fun with a waiver.
Fun with a waiver.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So fun with a waiver. Those are my words.
Complete this sentence for us. You're my kind of weird when
your sense of humor is largely comprised of weird sounds and weird movements and facial expressions. I just don't have a very witty sense of humor, I think, or it's largely not just intellectual humor like I feel like a lot of people in the UK appreciate, but it's mainly just weird noises, weird sounds, and just giggling about that. That makes me happy. So you're my kind of weird if you do that.
Wow.
All right. I think we'll pass. You've got these weird movements. So Bibi.
Sounds like university to me.
Yeah, sounds like us in university and until now. Anyway, Bibi, name one thing that really annoys you.
One thing that really annoys me is when people litter. I had to go at a guy the other day when I was walking through central London because his mate, it was really busy and I think the football was on and this guy just had a can and he was just put it down on the side of the road and his mate was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that too. And I was like, excuse me, who's gonna pick that can up? And I don't know. I was with my like little 13-year-old cousin, and he was kind of like stunned that I would just say that to a stranger. But I don't know. It grinds my gears when people just think they can put their stuff wherever they want. So I don't know. That's a very real thing that annoys me.
No, but that's good.
Yeah, me too.
Actually,
Good for you.
It bugs me too.
yeah. Did they pick it
Did
up
they
though?
pick it up?
No, they didn't.
Oh man.
Clearly,
They
this
just walked off, obviously.
5-foot cutie was not intimidating enough. But next time, I don't know. What can you do?
Yeah.
You just got to say it and hope it may be
Yeah.
soaked in some way, and maybe they won't. Maybe they'll think twice before they do it next time.
Next time you do that, Ange does it. That cursing thing, right? It's like, you do that finger
You
thing.
shall
right?
be cursed for 7 years.
Like,
Yeah,
"Ah!"
that'll
Yeah, there you go.
definitely
That's cursing thing.
make them want to pick it up.
Yeah. Yes, I'll make you do what is responsible. Anyway, Bibi, if you only achieved one thing today, what would make it a good day?
Make somebody feel good about themselves.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
sweet. Really thoughtful, nice answer. That's
Yeah.
lovely.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's warm and fuzzy. That actually makes us feel good. If you had, all right, this is an interesting one. If you had one question to ask a fortune teller, what would it be?
What's the most someone's paid you to do this?
You have one question, and that's the one you ask.
That's a really, really good question. That's too funny.
That is too funny. Well,
A lot.
thank you for those interesting answers, Bibi. And to all our viewers on Facebook and on YouTube, please feel free to post your questions in the chat. We'll get to them later.
Bibi, that was great, really getting to know you. And before we head to our regular parts of the show, we know that you're going to be releasing a new EP soon, and we'd be so honored if you could play a little something for us. Is that cool? Would that be okay?
Yes. I'm not gonna lie, I
Aw.
completely forgot about that part, but I do have a guitar.
Nice.
Is this
Oh,
the next thing that
cool.
you want to do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We want to know you play.
Oh shit!
Right.
You weren't you told off for saying this shit on BBC Radio?
No, we're not live anymore, are we? Oh, we're still live?
We
I thought
are
we had taken a break.
totally live.
You were just told about this by some important BBC person.
Oh yeah.
Our
Well-
production budget allows us to go live. That's it.
Too
I
funny.
don't know. Some things take a little longer to learn.
Oh no! And
Um,
then some. Oh no! And then the BBC
Hey.
person said, "We apologise to our viewers who may be offended by the language they just heard." So I've just said that to sound fancy on BBC.
BBC did it.
Yeah.
Make it legit. Make it legit.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Tell us what you've got. And
So, I can play the latest single I released. So I released this, I think, last month. It's called That You Know. And yeah, and play a little acoustic version for you. It's kind of about having a crush on someone or really liking someone, and having that unspoken connection. And you tell them, but you bet they already know.
Oh.
Hiding in a mystery, some secrets are hard to keep. Wondering what I keep it for. Guess I'd tell you, but I bet you know. Feel the love in a different way. How so? Well, it's hard to say. Hasn't been this way before. I'd tell you, but I bet you know. Ooh, I'd tell you, but I bet you know. Ooh, I'd tell you, but I bet you know. I'd tell you, but I bet you know.
Oh, that was wonderful.
I love that. I love that song. Yeah.
It's a really
Oh,
good
I
song.
love it. It's got such a great vibe. It's got that real summer, winding
Yes.
down your car window, wind blowing your hair,
Really chill.
singing along, bet you know vibe. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, thank you for doing that.
Thank
So
you,
lovely.
thank you, thank you.
How long did it take you to write?
Gosh, I mean, I guess when you're inspired, and it do come quick.
Mm.
So I wrote it, I think, in the first lockdown, and you know, it probably took me a day or two. I don't know. I'm not the kind of person who will like sit down and be like, writing this song, writing starts now. But you know, I'll sort of mull over lyrics, and so that's why it's very hard to say like how long something takes. Because you'd be like,
Right.
ooh, you'll have a riff in your head, and as you walk around, it
Yeah.
might develop into something else, and then you get home, and then you might write something. You might take a voice note on the bus or something like that. So maybe over the course of a week or something.
And do you get to a point where you're like, yeah, this is good. This is a keeper. Does it happen?
Yeah, I think I feel like I can say that when something sticks in my head, you know, when I'm singing a riff, a melody, a concept, and my brain keeps wanting to return to it. I'm like, okay, well then I feel like that's special. I don't know, special to me at least. And I think that's the only thing I can sort of go off of, is just that, you know, makes me happy. It keeps returning to my mind, and then becomes something that I want to realize and put out there.
Yeah, I have a phrase.
I
have a phrase like create for an audience of one, and it helps me get over myself. I use it somewhat as a framework to stop me from overthinking, because I'm just like, create for an audience of one. So that person, it may not be me. I may not be creating just for me. It may be like my mum. My mum likes to watch YouTube videos and likes to watch Dear Future Grandkids. So, you know, instead of thinking, oh, I'm creating for a target audience, or I'm creating for some weird thing called them or viewers or some thing that you can't define out there, instead of that, I just go, I'm just creating for one person, whoever that one person might be. So if it's for my mom, it's for my mom. If it's just for me, it's just for me. And I don't worry about anything else. And it's been the most useful creative production framework for me, I think. So yeah,
I love that. I love that, because I think if you try to create for a particular audience or a group of people, your message and your intention gets lost in those processes of mediation. You know, I don't know, maybe that's a really sort of long-winded way of saying that. Yeah, I don't know. It becomes... Not very
lots of people create for a target audience. You know, lots of people saying we're going to create this for this demographic, things like that. And you know, I guess it works. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. And they have big brainstorming sessions and all that kind of stuff. But if you feel yourself getting trapped and stuck and overthinking everything, I think just think, I'm making it for one person. And if that one person likes it, done, good, achieved, ship, right? Just ship it. Yeah.
Ship it.
You strike me as an artist, so I think you just write to express. So that's why you know that it's ready to come out.
Right. I think, yeah. No, I should probably go back to what I said earlier and say that, yeah, I guess it really depends on the kind of art form or what you're creating. Because, you know, you could be designing an event, and then in which case, yeah, definitely you have to design for many different types of people. But I guess, yeah, if it comes down to some message that you are expressing that is quite personal to you or your experience, you can't try to sort of appropriate somebody else's experience and
I can guess.
aim for that, because it's never gonna really work. You just gotta right from the heart.
Right from the heart. There we go.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful song. Thank you so much for that. And I guess the crush knew, right?
Huh?
Oh
Crushing you.
The crushing you. We went through it. We admitted our love and got into a relationship, and it was a bonfire of love that burned brightly and ended quickly.
Oh.
Bonfire of love is good though. We
Uh,
want a bonfire
When
of
there's
love.
a start, there's an end.
well, it made its mark, and I think every relationship will teach you things.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, Bibi, we know your home is a creative space, and we know it's a place where you compose and you produce many of your songs, like Bet You Know. But what we want to see is a side of your bedroom you would never show a visitor. Like, we want to see your corner of shame.
Okay. Well, I mean, I gotta say, if people are coming into my bedroom, it is very small, so they are gonna immediately see all corners from wherever they're sitting in the room. But
It's pretty tiny,
There's-
actually.
thank you. I'd say maybe this corner always just has some kind of case in it. It's got my laundry. I had a session the other day where someone came and sat on my bed, and I realized I just had a bunch of dirty laundry, some stuff I
Dirty
didn't
socks.
probably want them to see. But hey, such is life when you mainly work in your bedroom.
It's pretty. Did you you didn't put any acoustics or anything like that up or anything like that? There's no.
Nope.
Just
But-
I mean,
you and your
I
laundry.
probably should. I mean, the laundry can kind of act as a,
I
it
can
Right,
soaks up
acoustic
some of the
buffer.
sounds.
You got a lot of
Yeah,
talk
acoustic
there
buffer.
too, because you've got that tapestry behind you. Is that a tapestry or something?
Yeah. This is actually
Yeah.
given to me by this one was given to me by my aunt recently, and it's actually one of the loveliest things I've received, and one of the most
Nice.
personal, lovely things I've received from a family member, because she's held on to it for, I think, decades, since she was in university, and it was
Wow.
given to her
Wow.
by somebody else we're related to, I think her cousin, who I've yet to meet, but I have a funny story about that. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, of
So-
course. Yes.
You started it already.
So,
need to
yeah,
know.
I mean, if you said no, I would be like, okay, that's fine.
Now we would try.
I'll tell somebody
We're
else
nosy that
and
way.
feel better
We'll
about
go like-
that. But
yeah.
anyway,
We
so
will
this
try.
cousin Ling, I've
Mhm.
never met her, and Tina, my aunt, only sort of met her I guess, later on in her life, maybe in her 20s, or found out she existed later on. So that we're not like particularly connected to that family. And her, so one day I got a message on Instagram from this random username, no profile picture, saying, "Hey, I'm your cousin." And I was like, okay, weird angle, stranger, but all right. And I kind of like posted on my Instagram story, and I was like, look at this dude. Like, you got to give it to him. He's been creative in trying to like slide into my DMs and stuff like that. And then not too long after that, I got another person, again, like username I didn't recognize, no mutual friends, no connection whatsoever. "Hey, I'm your cousin. We're second cousins, by the way." And I was like, are you serious? Like, that's such a weird, like, that's weirdly specific. And again, without thinking about it, I put it up on my story, and I was like, the cousin angle hits again. And he sent a message after he saw that, and he goes, no, seriously, I'm actually your cousin. I know Tina. Ling is my mom. And I was like, oh my God, we're actually cousins. So anyway, long story short, I thought these long lost cousins of mine were just reaching out of the blue. or were just strangers reaching out of the blue. But it turns out they were actually my cousins. Anyway, that wasn't as
Oh.
exciting as I thought it was going to be. But
It's sweet.
it was
I think
fun
that's so
and
sweet,
funny
'cause
when
you're-
it was
I mean,
actually happening.
You grew up
So
in
now
Hong
you're
Kong.
gonna get more
Yeah.
cousins
Yeah.
there in your Instagram.
Yeah, now you got all these cousins coming out the woodwork in England that you can connect with.
Yeah.
So even during COVID, you don't feel that you're so far away from family. That's nice.
It's great, honestly. I didn't, know I actually had more family in England. I thought it was just my aunt. So, yeah, I'm gonna be meeting up with them soon. Take a
Nice.
train
Oh,
to
nice.
where they are and apologize for putting them up on my story and framing them as weirdos.
Can't blame you for doubting it, bro.
I mean, yeah, it happens.
It happens. Bibi, we want to keep you on your toes. So, this is the point where we ask you to go and fetch two items, from your career or your travels that have special meaning to you.
Okay.
All right. Brings out two cousins.
Yes.
Opens the door.
Yeah, open the
Yeah.
door. Oh,
Oh.
cousin one and cousin two.
Hello.
Okay, so I have some sort of little trinkets and bits that I keep up on my desk here. That I
Oh,
can
what a
just,
cool-
look at while I'm
Oh, I
working.
like your shelf. I'm
Sorry,
digging
it's a
lava
bit
lamp.
messy at the moment. Yeah. I love the lava lamp. I
Super
got it
cool.
recently from a guy on Facebook Marketplace who wanted to chat a lot about music stuff after, and he was
Oh,
very
cool.
sweet. Anyways, so one of the things I have up on my desk is this little Hongdaosa bowl that I brought back from Hong
Oh.
Kong.
Ooh.
And it's
red
just like a
bean
very Cantonese
dessert.
Hong Kong dessert that reminds me
Yeah.
of home, that you just really wouldn't really often see in London. So I like having it there just to make me think of Tantang places and, just going out with my popo and having dim sum and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Aw, I think that's
warms
great.
Red bean dessert.
It warms the heart.
And then the thing I thought I'd show you from my career, something I use at every live show, and it's a vocal processor.
Ooh.
So if I basically plug my microphone into here and then plug that into there, it'll add effects to my vocals. So essentially what I use it for is doubling. So it'll double my vocals, sort of making it sound like there are multiple BBs in the room. And then I'll add some delay and reverb on it, which makes it sound like really echoey and spacey. So if I'm belting it and going, it'll pad out all the sour notes, and sort of make it sound wicked. So
Does it have that auto tune that they have on those reality TV shows? And
ooh, it doesn't
BTS,
do an auto
that
tune
BTS
thing.
noises, BTS always sing with that weird auto tune thing, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've definitely seen that tons at gigs that I've been to, and I've seen vocal processors that do that. This one, unfortunately, is just like a doubling. It actually does like a harmony thing as well, so it can double your vocals and also
And
get the
harmonize.
vocals to harmonize with you, which sounds pretty
Ooh.
freaky. So, there you go.
So you record your songs there, or it's just for demo? You record the whole song.
I produce all my songs here.
Wow.
Yes, just here, and then I'll usually have my old keyboard right across here, but I've taken it off
Nice.
to put my laptop up on this little thing. I found this scrap piece of wood outside actually, and I just kind
put
of
it on top of.
I put this thing underneath, which enables me to. It's actually kind of a DIY space. I can take it off if I need
Is
to
that a
have
beater?
some more space. So I also found this little black thing outside. I don't really know what it is, but I drilled it to the wall, and it lets
There
me
you have
sort
it.
of just put this on
Great.
top when I want
That's
to.
a good setup. Wow.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's a small room. I've tried to utilize the space as much as possible.
No, I've been listening to your songs on Spotify. They sound really good. I mean, I wouldn't have thought that you just produce them there.
I mean, a lot of musicians these days, I think, are just doing the bedroom thing because, I
But
mean,
to be honest, sometimes you can tell. But for yours, I mean, I swear, it sounds really good.
I thought musicians, they do the demoing in their bedroom setup and they might add, but then they go off somewhere. That's what I just assumed. Not that I know anything about the music industry, but I just.
well, I guess like in terms of the people I know or like work with, it is the thing if it's like a band or if you want to get live instruments, especially like drums and stuff like that, or if you want to record like the band because you have such a good feeling together, you want to record it all at the same time and do the recording in a studio, then you would do it like that. Or if you just like want to record the drum parts in a studio, you can do that, take them back, mix it at home or something like that. And for me, honestly, like, yeah, I mean, I use drum samples. So I use like pre-recorded drum samples of, the snare, the kick, the individual components. And then I just sort of like mix it together here. But then I'll listen to it with many different headphones on these speakers. I might take it to my friend's room, listen to it on their speakers, might take it somewhere else. You listen to it on many different things just to make sure it's consistent.
Yeah, that's what makes all the difference. Remember, Ange, we used to play things back on different monitors as well.
Yeah, you have
just to make sure it sounds all right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me and Ange. Welcome to the OC Club.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were. Yeah, we had this 192 episodes we produced of a show in Australia, and we would, it had singing, it had dancing, it had vocal. It was really, and it's for kids, so the audio had to be really precise and pure. And we had post-its, didn't we, Percy, on the wall?
Yeah.
192 post-its, and we'd make sure we're trying to hear it in so many different environments on really good quality speakers, on the worst speakers that ever been. Yeah. I mean, that's the most important thing. It's actually the worst. Yeah. It's the worst monitor and the best monitor through just a TV and their built-in speakers. Yeah. Let's do that.
Right.
Across
I remember
192.
Ange and I were walking, and we went past the monitor. We were like, "Oh, we haven't tested that monitor yet."
Yeah.
Just plug it through every speaker.
Yeah.
It's true.
And the funny thing was that was just at that time it was just available on your TV set.
Yes.
Well, that's so important, I think, to do it like that because truth is most people are going to hear it on pretty crappy speakers,
Yeah.
It's a rarity that you have like hi-fi, high
Yeah.
definition, high quality sound speakers. So, I mean, even with I think it's really useful to have AirPods, or Apple earphones, because you see everyone, I think
Everyone.
all of you seem to have the Apple earphones listening to them right now. So if I'm mixing a track, I would use that as a very important point of reference because that's how most people are going to hear the song.
Good point.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Spoken like a
Good
true
point.
producer.
I know. Spoken like a true producer. Thank you so much, Bibi, for giving us insight into your recording studio performance area and how you record your songs. And we know that obviously, by showing us that you can produce, you obviously can sing, you can perform, and we know that you do a lot of your own design work and your design artwork. I mean, that's all good. I mean, we're impressed, but this is Dear Future Grandkids. If you could truly, really show us a pointless skill, we will be impressed. Have you got a pointless skill?
So my pointless skill was born out of trying to impress a drama teacher when I was a kid. I was literally just going to co-curricular drama workshops when I was a kid, and there was a drama teacher there who I had a big crush on, and she was very, very entertained by this little kid who went up and wiggled his ears, and she was like, oh! And I saw that happening. I was like, that's what I need to do. That's what I need to do. I need to learn this skill. So I went back home and I was like,
No.
and tried my very best. I kid you not. I trained myself. how to wiggle my ears.
Oh.
And to this day, I don't know if you can see it on the camera.
Oh,
but-
show.
Okay, all
Right,
right.
let's see all this hard work. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
You can wiggle your
Wiggle
ears.
it just a little
And by the
bit.
time I could do it and showed it to her, she was over it.
The moment has passed.
She's like, oh,
Oh,
okay.
Another one.
what's the lesson there?
The lesson there is don't
Yeah.
learn useful skills to impress
Yeah.
people. I don't know.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. You have truly earned your place here in the hearts of Dear Future Grandkids. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a lesson for everybody. Learn your own pointless skill. Do not try to mimic other people's pointless skills.
Learn it so that it makes you happy.
Yeah, that's true too. Do you? Now, Bibi, we've come to that part of the show where we show people just how nosy the three of us are. We want you to get your phone,
Yes.
and then we want you to identify somebody in your contact list and leave a voice message to that someone who's important in your life or someone random. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. You don't have to tell us who. We just like to hear the message and guess.
Okay. What should I say in the
It's
voice?
either cousin
message?
1 or cousin 2.
Say whatever
you
you
can say
want.
whatever you want.
Whatever.
Speak your
I
mind.
want. Okay, it's probably gonna give
Yeah,
it
and to
away when
whoever
I
you want.
start.
All right.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hello, Mama. I know you're watching. I know you heard me say Asian don't raisin. I know Ange said it first. I'm going to use that a lot now. I think you're probably going to use that a lot now. I hope it made you feel good that I said, I really want your genes throughout my old age. And I love you so much.
Aww.
To my mama, who sent a
There you
picture
go.
of her watching this
Oh.
show.
Oh, yeah.
She's
Oh, that's
watching
really
live.
sweet.
She's
Oh,
watching on
that's so
two
cool.
screens.
I love you, Mom.
Oh,
I made it.
Oh. Yeah. Oh.
That's really sweet. And I understand now about the sounds. You really are about the sound effects. I never
Yeah.
heard a kiss sound like that.
Well, it's it's useful for the music too. You make a lot of sounds with your mouth, and you slap a bunch of reverb on it, and you can create a whole landscape.
Mm.
Oh, wow.
Soundscape.
Nice. Okay.
Bibi, thank you so much for sharing that message to your mom. Obviously, you have a really close relationship. But what's the most important thing we should know about your family?
The most important thing you should know about my family is that I think despite moving around a lot and being in very different parts of the globe. So just as reference, I'm in London, my dad's in Arizona, and my mom is in the
Oh, there's your mum.
in Hong Kong.
Oh, there's you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. If my mom is still watching, I think she's gonna
Oh, that is lovely. What a great photo.
So yeah, I mean, even though we're in very different parts of the world, still feel a lot of love, from my parents and from my aunt, and we're always, chatting on WhatsApp. Look, they're messaging now. My aunt says, "What a fabulous interview! Really enjoyed it." Oh, well, maybe she signed off already.
Oh, yeah, she's done.
She's a busy woman. She's a busy woman. She got things to do. But yeah, I mean, I still feel the love. I still feel the love, and we
Yeah.
show up for each other as much as we can, even though we're far away.
Nice. Really nice.
Nice.
Now, is there a life principle or motto that someone in your family or a mentor that has taught you that's been good for you, that you've held on to, that's been really helpful?
I think there's something that my mom always told me, growing up, and I never really understood what it meant as a kid. So every time she would say it, I was like, okay. And it was always be true to yourself. And I think, when I was a kid, I didn't really understand what that meant because maybe I didn't really have such a sense of self, or at least I wasn't very aware of what it meant to be myself. I guess because maybe I hadn't come up against enough adversity or had felt like I had been not myself enough to recognize what it is to be myself. And maybe I'm rambling here, but as I've gotten older, I've realized the importance of that wisdom, and it definitely has stuck with me a lot. And yeah,
I guess
think it's very
in the
important.
music industry, you're in the music industry. I'm sure you have everyone giving you an opinion about one thing or another. So has that advice held true
Oh,
as
definitely.
you're
I
starting out in
think,
your music career?
I'm very lucky to be supported by a team of people who, they will make suggestions, practical suggestions of things to do based on, previous success with different artists. And I can take that and go, okay, I can recognize, that formula worked. And, I might use some of that. And yeah, I know that, in order to be a sort of successful artist in many ways these days, you do have to do a lot of these things, especially pertaining to keeping updated on social media and, engaging your followers and things like that. But I think, time and time and again, not time and time again, there have been some situations, I think, where I've been encouraged to do something because the person who was encouraging me believed that would, bode well with people who are following me or people who are following my music, and they thought, oh, this is gonna be great. Yeah, it's gonna work really well. And it hasn't worked well. And I think the reason it hadn't worked well is because it wasn't coming from me. It was coming from someone else.
Yeah.
So I think through experiences like that, it sort of reinstated this idea that, as well, you can't work hard to impress other people, or I think the issue with approaching things in that way is people can sense when you're not being true to yourself. People can sense when you're not being genuine. And so of course it's not going to work, So I think the only thing you can do is just, do you, and, recognize that you're the best person at doing you. Other people might offer suggestions that you can choose to take or leave, but at the end of the day, you just gotta be yourself.
But actually, I totally understand that because as somebody who works with a lot of artists and I manage artists, I keep telling them that you can follow the herd, you can follow the rules because there are rules about what you're supposed to do in social media, how you're supposed to market yourself, right? But you can be popular, but you might not be successful in terms of how you are and who you are, and it's not going to last, as you said, because people will be able to tell. And if you're not original, there's no place for you because that's this industry, right? You can be manufactured into something that works for the masses, but it's not going to last if that's not who you are. So I think you're on the right track here, that you listen to yourself.
Well, I think there have been so many people who've probably exhausted themselves or tired themselves out because they try to maintain something that isn't real to them. And you see so many artists who are I guess, coming out and being like, this is who I really am. And they make a drastic change. And then, possibly met with a lot of resistance because people are like, who's this? This isn't the, star I've been following for years. But, I love moments like that of, wow, go you, break out of that and just be yourself, because ultimately, the most important thing is in life is that you feel like you're living it well and you're enjoying it. You shouldn't live your life for other people. And I feel like in in the music industry, in the TV industry, any kind of sort of entertainment industry. You can get so lost in what it means to be successful and doing the things you need to do to get to a place where you are able to express yourself genuinely and express your message and do what you essentially want to do. And you can get so lost in those steps, I suppose, that you think you have to take.
The formula. Everybody has this theory that there's a formula to success in this industry, but the only formula is really be yourself.
Yeah, the formula is be yourself and do what actually makes you happy,
Or be the
as much
best
as you
version
can.
of yourself, I guess. Be the best version of what you can do, right?
And you decide who that is.
Yeah, you do. You have to decide who that is.
Or what that looks like.
And your potential is massive. I mean, that's one thing I've realized. You are much greater than you can ever believe possible. So you can do you, and you can be amazing. It can be 100 times bigger and greater and more powerful and more unique and more funny and more talented and more creative than you could ever imagine when you're starting out. That's one thing I really believe too.
I think, that is true. You can definitely surprise yourself if you have an open heart and you have an open mind and you cultivate situations in which you allow yourself to blossom and grow. And I think that's all you can do. Ultimately, you can't sort of force that upon yourself sometimes, but you can create situations, or you can create an environment in your life where, that is beneficial for your eudaimonia, for your human flourishing.
Wow, I like that term.
Did philosophy in school for a bit, and it's helped me to sound like a total.
That's why. I'm about to jot down notes, you see, from everything you're doing. No, but Bibi, has anything happened in your life that changed your destiny or your direction in life?
Has anything happened that changed my destiny or direction? Tons of things every day. Every experience changes where I'm heading. I mean, there can be common themes of what I have wanted and what I currently want, but I couldn't tell you tomorrow that those things are going to stay the same. So based on that, I would say, I don't know, things happen all the time that change my direction. In terms of destiny, I don't know if I believe in destiny. I think the belief in destiny can set someone up for disappointment or confusion. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. The only compass is your current feeling, I guess. And unfortunately for me, sometimes I can be a bit emotionally unstable, or I'm like, something bad will happen. I'll be like, that's it. I'm moving to America. I'm going to buy a car. I'm just going to live in the countryside for the rest of my life. Yeah. And, I also have some friends who are similar and who have taken those spontaneous, urges seriously, and they've gone out and done that thing. And it's led them on some very interesting journeys and taught them some very fascinating lessons that have stuck with them. And I think, I don't know, maybe I'm going on a bit of a tangent here.
It's clear that you studied philosophy and you're interested in that.
Yeah.
Right? You can tell because you question these things, you question these
You're very
life
introspective.
thoughts. Yeah, very introspective.
No, but I like it because you're obviously an artist, because that's why we all go through a roller coaster because we kind of put our passion out there, right? We wear our hearts on our sleeves, so it's very vulnerable also that way.
I
But
think, yeah, honestly, sorry for my
no.
interject. I think maybe the way I've been speaking is romanticize this view of being able to spontaneously just do whatever your heart takes you. And I also realize that there are some very real life situations that might be in the way of you doing that. You know, you might not be earning enough money to just suddenly book a flight to Fiji and live there for the rest of your life. You know, you might have a sick family member that like you genuinely have to take care of.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think when I said that, I think maybe that was marked by a bit of idealism, but I think there
Yeah.
are also small ways in which you can take experience in your life, small ways in which that can affect your perspective on how you live your life. And you know, how you live your life could go many ways in very small ways you might not notice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think maybe it wouldn't be as dramatic as like just
No, but the
picking
big
up and going and moving somewhere, you know. But it could be
big
something
takeaway.
small, like how do I choose to spend my day?
There you go. Because that's my big takeaway from what you said. It's like there's no destiny, so you kind of go with the flow. You know what's going to you know, you don't know what's going to happen next, so you kind of make do with what's there, and then that's how you see the opportunities as they come.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, BB, you know you've got a lot of skills, but if you could wake up tomorrow with one more skill, what would that be?
One more skill.
Not the ear wiggling. Not the ear wiggling. You've got that already. You can wiggle your ears. That's good.
Nose wiggling.
Those wiggling.
Next question.
I would love to be able to fly. Are we talking real skills? Like realistic?
Yeah, let's keep it.
Can be it.
Let's keep it. Let's keep
We
it
would all
slightly
love to
realistic.
fly.
I would love to be able to play some really sexy saxophone, to be honest. That's something I've always wanted to do, is just be able to
Oh my goodness,
You
George
know?
Michael, careless whisper.
Spot the intro prize goes to Ange.
Yes, not the intro prize.
I love that song.
Of course,
I'm
it's
amazed
Careless
I didn't
Whisper.
You gotta learn sax just so you can play that, surely.
If
Oh,
for no
God,
one
no.
else,
There you
Ange, I will
go.
do it for you.
Oh man, I
Yes.
love that.
The next time I come to Hong Kong, I'm gonna do a Breakfast Club moment and stand outside your apartment complex.
Yeah.
You are a child of the 80s, and I like you more and more for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm stuck in the 80s.
Yeah.
Hey Bibi, how can someone live a good life?
How can someone live a good life? I love how you just sprung that on me. Ange.
Such a deep,
like we're
difficult
literally just talking about like playing the
And then I'm like,
you're
okay.
that's so good. I love George Michael's.
Go with that
How can
now.
someone live a good life? By listening to George Michael's Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
By learning how to play the saxophone.
Can't get any better than that.
How can someone live a good life? I can't prescribe that for anyone but myself. You know, it's how someone lives a good life is completely, you know, dependent on the individual. You know, how you live a good life, Ange, is going to look very differently to how, you know, Jen lives a good life, or how Percy lives a good life. And, you know, I think for me personally, the way I believe I can live a good life is by being true to myself, a la my mother's wisdom.
Aww.
And yeah, I think having that is sort of the driver of how I choose to live my life. You know, I think some things that have remained consistent is that I want to, you know, be able to be creative, and how that looks, I know, is going to evolve throughout my life, and I think it already has a lot in terms of how I express creativity and how I engage in like creative endeavors. I don't
Nice.
know. Yeah.
That's a nice answer. That's a thoughtful, smart, philosophical, nice answer. I like that. And if someone wants to become a musician, and I know there's people out there who dream of your lifestyle. I mean, you might not think it's glamorous, but some people dream of doing what you do. And what's the most important thing you think they should know is if a musician's just starting out in their career?
It's very hard to make money.
You just have to embrace that first.
No, but on a more positive note, okay, like I think if you are expecting to make money straight up from your music, selling albums, you need to cut that out, because streaming digital age is here, baby, and making lots of money from albums is saved for the creme de la creme. And even when you're there, you're supported by a huge team of people that all take a cut. So by the time it gets to you, you probably, don't get as much as you would think. So, yeah, I guess on a more positive note, though, you can do many different things. And if you want to have a sort of creative career, I know some people who, are quite successful as solo artists, and their stream count on Spotify is insane, and they look like they're doing really well in that sense, but they're like, no, I mean, I do a million different things. I like run a radio thing, I teach, I do workshops, I also do a bunch of writing sessions, like maybe I'll write a little bit for a sync here and there. But yeah, so I guess what I'm trying to say is, most of the time you're going to be doing lots of different things, and that may not look like success to many people, because if you're not hitting the top 40 charts, then you're still a struggling artist. But I think you need to just put all those misconceptions about music away, not care what other people think, and embrace a lifestyle of doing various things and getting fulfillment from that.
Yeah, good advice. Because I think other people would say focus on one thing, and that's sort of a common advice from previous years. It could be, right? That's a common career advice. Build one skill, focus on one thing, one channel, one platform, do that. And the fact that you said, no, do a bit of everything. That's actually very useful to know, right?
That's how I would view it, because I think, honestly, it can be different. Like I said, like in terms of living a good life, blah, blah, blah. Your career is going to look different to somebody else's career. Like I know another person who is like super famous on TikTok from just like playing guitar videos, and like they've just like million followers, and I assume they must make decent money from that. Or I think also in a situation like that, they're gonna find success in like projects that they get on the back of that. So even in that situation where their main focus seems to be like one social media or one particular angle, for them it was guitar videos of doing covers kind of thing. Like even in a situation like that, their time is probably mostly filled by doing, other things.
Right.
Yeah. If that makes any sense in terms of in the context of the
answer. I've learned a lot about the music industry, because I don't know how it works. No. And you're right, you just see one thing. So it's interesting to know it from the actual other side of it and to hear it straight from the musician's mouth.
It's a very grounded way of looking at it too, because you follow your passion, and everybody thinks that, whoa, I want to be like you, because you follow your dream, you follow your passion. Like, yeah, but there's other stuff that I kind of need to do too to follow my passion. So,
but you can also follow your passion in many ways, right? Like, I don't know. I think, you know, I'm also a person who just like I'm very interested in many different things. So that's why I also see it in that way.
It's good.
Yeah.
We're mulling
Bibi,
over that.
I mean, yeah, we've learned
Chin
so
stroking
much from
silence.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Oh gosh.
And I know we've learned so much from you. And also we're so happy that you decided to spend time with us today on Dear Future Grandkids. Unfortunately, it's coming to the end of the show. We've got to close it, and you're closing the lid on your future time capsule, and you get to leave a message. Now, what would you want to say to your future grandkids?
And I'm saying it in as if I'm speaking to my grandkids, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. To your dear future grandkid.
dear future grandkids, it is important to be kind and to be empathetic. It is important to care for other people on this world, but it's most important to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would say. To be honest,
Yes.
keep it short and
Yes.
sweet and simple. Honestly, you
Yeah.
can put a lot of love into the world, but you need to put just as much of that love into yourself.
White words.
Yes.
Wise words.
Yes. People forget that. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, BB, for being on the show today. We really learned a lot, actually.
I'm glad I could share some of the little wisdom I've gained in my 22 years on this
Wisdom.
earth.
Oh, you are
I
an
don't know
old
if I could even
soul.
call it
You're an
wisdom.
old soul.
Some
You're
of
an
the
old
things
soul.
I've learned.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might
Just-
catch me in a few years and I'll be like, oh, that? Nah, I don't think that anymore. So
Yeah, that's rubbish. Forget that.
Yeah, what
I can't believe I
that
said
joke?
that.
Yeah. Don't be true to yourself. Yeah, thank you.
Being
Thank
true to
you again
yourself
for
does
being
not
on the
make you
show.
money. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
exactly. Pay rent, electricity bills by not being yourself. That's the secret.
BB's
we-
exclusively only on TikTok 5 years from now.
There you go.
We'd like to
So,
we'd
hey.
like to thank our lovely viewers for joining us and for all your comments. You fill us with love and gratitude. You always do.
I'm glad I could bring that.
Thank you
Thank you so much
much.
for having me.
And before you go, BB, just share with us. You're about to release an EP. Is there any dates or anything you can update us about that?
Yeah, so
Yeah, tell us.
I'm releasing an EP with 7476 Records, and the next track, so it's a 6-track EP, and we're doing it sort of month by month, releasing it track by track. The first track was Baby Wants Out of the City, and we've actually got one coming this Wednesday, so keep your eyes peeled for that new track. And then the whole EP is coming out in September, so keep them eyes peeled for that.
Cool.
Looking for that, and also everyone watching as well. If you want, you can follow BB BB Sway on Instagram, on Facebook. You can listen to her tracks on Spotify at BB Sway. And if you all have enjoyed the show, remember you can check out Dear Future Grandkids, the podcast as well, which often includes behind the scenes tidbits. And once again, this has been an amazing show. Thank you so much for watching Dear Future Grandkids. We are Jien, Ange, and Percy signing out.
Once again, a mega thank you to our wonderful guest, BB Sway. Goodbye, everyone, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.